Post that went viral years ago resurfacing how a local teacher is responding to her renewed fame. And another local teacher thankful tonight for her free haul of school supplies, the store she's praising for helping keep her class up and running this year. Plus, the Bakersfield Condors gearing up for a new season, now less than a month away, how they look to fill all their job openings tonight. That's all ahead on the Now Bakersfield. Annie?
To get you in our lineup on the Now today, you know how high drug prices can be. Well, now a new group is trying to cut costs for all of us. I've been looking into how this would work and if it could really make a difference. Also, with the latest scandal involving the Catholic Church, some Catholics hope to make a difference with their wallets. The debate, should you stop giving or give more? And an old trick for crooks to get our money is turning into an exploding epidemic. We're talking about check fraud scams and the new warning about how thousands of people are falling for this.
Well, a Bakersfield teacher is going viral for the second time after a picture she posted 3 years ago started recirculating online. This one right here. The Now Bakersfield Story Cooper met with her at Chipman Junior High School and has more on how social media is impacting her classroom.
Jolene Berg posted this picture of herself on Facebook from her Chipman Junior High School class 3 years ago. At the time, she received over 1 million likes on this picture, and it's still circulating tonight. But now she is using this picture as a greater message for her students. Check it out.
Jolene Berg speaks more than one language.
People could set up a GoFundMe.
And so do her students. For the last 30 years, Berg has spent her time teaching American Sign Language to the 7th and 8th graders who are deaf and hard of hearing.
We run the same subjects. We do English and reading and writing and math, history, science. We do it all.
Among the many lessons that Berg has shared with her students, she places an emphasis on reading.
Reading is a big thing in this class, and we push.
Berg believes that many of her students are also communicating via social media more than before, which she says requires reading skills and connects them to more people. But she also wanted to show students how powerful that same social realm can be. So she posted this picture as a class project.
The first time was just on Facebook, and it still spreads today, and there's over 1 million shares on the original picture. It reached 1,300,000 and it still builds. And that was within the first 3 months.
The picture also made its way to Twitter and resurfaced again this year, but this time it was changed according to Berg.
This picture has reappeared, and not only has it reappeared, it's changed. Somebody changed that picture and continued to push it out. What the difference between 3 years ago and today is somebody wiped out the date.
Academy Award-winning actress Marlee Matlin also picked up the altered version, sharing it with the Twitter world, and again the Berg class started to go viral. But Berg says it's a lesson for students about the importance of social media safety.
It was really a good lesson for the kids to see this picture is not even the same, that somebody manipulated it.
And students like 13-year-old Samaria Constant are already implementing safe social media practices they learned from Berg's class.
I don't post that much. I keep it private, so like only my friends can see it. And my mom does check my Instagram, like randomly.
They never post, like you cannot post public because someone might see you, like where you're at, or like you can tell what your address. So.
And students say based off what happened to their teacher, they aren't taking any chances.
I don't know you, I don't want to know you, so I'm just gonna block you.
And as for Berg, she's just happy she can use the picture project for the well-being of her students.
Social media safety.
The photo of Ms. Berg is still circulating on social media tonight, and as of now, Berg says she will continue to use it as a message towards social media safety. For more information on this story, head to our website, turnto23.com. For the Now Bakersfield, I'm Tori Cooper, 23 ABC.
Powerful story there with a big message. Well, another local teacher says her classroom will be fully stocked this year, all thanks to Walmart. She says she was able to get hundreds of dollars worth of supplies last night, not paying a penny out of her own pocket. And she says she wasn't alone. Dozens of teachers were able to take advantage of it.
I've been teaching 29 years. And the district, I work for Bakersfield City Schools, and they are very giving, and you know, they try to make sure that we have what we need to start the year. But these are things that aren't really provided for us. These are things that we usually end up buying because it makes our year better. It makes the classroom setup easier. It makes the organization of things better.
Miller says she is a teacher at Franklin Elementary School, and the supplies will keep her class going for the rest of the year. We've reached out to Walmart for more information on the event and how it was made possible. They have not yet returned our calls. The California Pizza Kitchen is looking to give back to those impacted by recent wildfires, and you can help. They're hosting a fundraiser this upcoming Tuesday, September 11th, with the California Fire Foundation. For anyone who mentions the fundraiser, CPK will donate 20% of whatever you spend to the foundation. The money goes to the families of fallen firefighters, and the community they protect. It runs all day on the 11th. Bakersfield Police Activities League, or PAL, is gearing up for their 17th annual Hometown Heroes Benefit Dinner, and today they took the time to remind the community why they should give back.
We're in the area where our kids are at risk due to drugs, gangs, and violence. The Police Activities League is a safe haven for our kids. It gets them off the streets, brings them here to our facility where there are cops at the facility and staff from the police department, and ultimately we're bonding, building relationships with them. We're also mentoring them and developing them, hoping to make them responsible citizens.
BPAL provides numerous programs for the community, including an after-school program at the youth center. The benefits from the dinner will help fund those programs. The dinner will be held next Thursday, the 13th. You can find more information on our website on how you can get involved.
If you take any medication, do you know how high drug prices can be? Well, there soon could be a new way to get medication at a lower price, and it's not through a pharmacy. It's actually at a hospital. I looked into this new group making their own generic drugs. The new company, called Civica RX, was started by several major hospital groups, all hoping to tackle the drug shortages in hospitals and the high drug prices patients are used to paying.
Are there shortages? Yes. Is there a cost factor? Absolutely, especially with the new high deductible plans that are coming into effect.
Kevin Flynn with the nonprofit group Health Advocates says this sounds like a great plan, but there could be some side effects.
The question is, are these health systems trying to fix a problem, being access to drugs and low cost, or are they looking at it more as a stepping stone?
Flynn is cautiously optimistic about the startup, but says he wouldn't be surprised if the hospitals were doing this to make money and compete with other manufacturers. And speaking of competition, Civica RX is not disclosing the drug names, but the company did say they include a mix of generic pills, patches, and injectable drugs for treating infections, pain, and heart conditions.
You have to watch this new company to make sure that its medications are quality, not just some substandard remedy for the situation.
Civica says that they're going to create a reliable source of their generic drugs to over 500 hospitals and reduce the cost by 20%. And they're hoping to do this by next year.
I like to think that because they're a health system, they're altruistic, they want to do what's best for the patient. But often we have to wait and see what happens.
Ahead in our lineup, with the latest scandal involving the Catholic Church, some Catholics hope to make a difference with their wallets. The debate, should you stop giving or give more? We'll get into both sides when the Now continues. Let's check on the Now news feed. More than 1 million Ford trucks under recall. Ford says it needs to fix seatbelts in its F-150s from 2015 and on. The seatbelts could spark when they deploy and catch on fire. The Delta fire in Northern California has tripled in size, forcing mandatory evacuations. It's forced dozens of miles on Interstate 5 to shut down. Even Amtrak service into Oregon has been suspended. Investigators say the fire was caused by humans. And retirement in the U.S. isn't faring so well. A new ranking from a global retirement index shows that the U.S. is outpaced by many European countries. Places like Switzerland and Iceland do better when it comes to income, health, and quality of life. The U.S. had a lower life expectancy compared to other countries. Well, Catholics around the world are still struggling to come to terms with the actions of church leaders. This is after a shocking grand jury report showed that hundreds of priests in Pennsylvania diocese were credibly accused of abusing more than 1,000 children. And as the Now's Chris Welch tells us, some people are now opting to make their voices heard through their wallets.
Catholics everywhere seem to react to the recent grand jury report with similar levels of disgust.
I mean, I couldn't get through the readings without feeling nauseous.
And outrage.
Demoralizing and infuriating.
But where they may disagree is on what to do next, particularly with the dollars they typically contribute to the church.
For the faithful members of the church, it is a time to be pouring themselves financially, spiritually, and practically into the church.
Catholic Keenan Fitzpatrick is a faithful member of the Denver, Colorado Archdiocese. He says in the wake of the latest scandal, he'll be donating more than ever before because he says now is when the church can use it most to make sure scandals like these never happen again.
The church is hurting. The world is hurting. And we as the faithful members have a responsibility to actually give more of ourselves.
Roisin Grimm, who attends weekly mass in Santa Paula, California, sees things a bit differently.
Money is what talks, I think. And that might be a little cynical of me to say that, but I do believe that in any large institution, even if it's one involved in promulgating moral values and teaching and doing all the good works that the church continues to do and has done.
While she says for now she may continue to give to her local parish, she's cut off all contributions to their archdiocese for a couple reasons.
It's that I don't know where that money's going, A, and B, it's that I don't really have another way to get my point across.
For devout Catholics, donating, or tithing as it's called in the Bible, is taken seriously, and many give the traditional 10% of their income.
There's a whole flux of Catholics that are looking for other organizations to donate.
Brees Sokolowski has made a career out of helping smaller organizations founded on Catholic principles raise funds, and he says business is booming.
As a fundraiser or just as a Catholic myself, if I don't trust the organization that I'm donating to, then I'm going to stop donating to them.
I respect the concern of, are my donor dollars going to be misplaced?
As for Roisin Grimm, she says she does have some hope for the church.
I'm still very doubtful and very nervous.
Reporting for The Now, I'm Chris Welch.
Well, Condors fans, we are officially on the countdown to the start of the season. The puck drops for the first time on October 5th. Tonight, a job fair was held at Rabobank to hire for all sorts of jobs that keep the arena up and running during the season. That includes manning the merchandise booths, helping down on the ice, and of course, the kids zone. Ryan Holt with the Condors says this is a job that will help build skills even beyond the hockey arena.
This is the first step for a lot of high school and college students, and we're hopeful that they go on to bigger and better things, whether it's with us or whether it's in other organizations. And this is a great spot to start.
Holt says they typically fill most of their job openings at the fair, but occasionally spots open up throughout the season. You can always check their website for more information. Again, opening night is October 5th. If you're looking for a way to get some free pizza while giving back to your community, you can still sign up for Kern County's largest river cleanup taking place next Saturday. Hundreds of volunteers will be cleaning up together near the Lower Kern area that's impacted each year by holiday celebrations and, of course, the summer months. Some of our 23 ABC team will be attending the cleanup effort as well. If you'd like to join in on the fun, make sure you head to turnto23.com. We have a link to sign up. Thankfully, it looks like temperatures eventually are going to cool down too, right, Allison?
Slowly. A few more days of these summer-like temperatures and then a cool down on the way next week. Today we had a high of 97 degrees and we are still in those 90s this evening, 93 right now here in Bakersfield, and temperatures down a few degrees from what we were seeing this time yesterday, but they will be trending right back up as we head into the weekend. That's all due to this high pressure system that's going to be pushing hot and dry air onshore. So unfortunately, that means tomorrow we'll have another day of air quality that is unhealthy for sensitive groups with an AQI of 115 tomorrow. So technically that's a little bit better than what we were seeing today, but you will still be able to see those hazy conditions. So the triple digits are back for us here in the valley tomorrow. Temperatures in the 90s, even 80s in our mountain communities, but a breeze will be picking up this weekend. That is what is going to be causing temperatures to cool down. So again, just a few more days in the triple digits, and then we see temperatures down to 91 degrees by next Wednesday, down to possibly 88 by next Friday. Well, fall will be back soon. We'll have more when the Now Bakersfield comes right back.
They are voting with their wallets, and that's what makes Kickstarter so amazing.
John Schindehedi knows how to raise money by crowdfunding.
We're not a really big company. We're not looking to sell millions and millions of items.
He's a small-time artist who just raised nearly $10,000 through a crowdfunding effort for greeting cards. This is the second year, and he knows how to deliver for his customers, but not everybody does.
I've seen some campaigns that have gone bad and people haven't produced what they said they were going to produce.
There's the case of this high-tech backpack that was supposed to let you charge all your devices and even had an internet hotspot for you and your friends.
They took in over $700,000 and delivered nothing to any of the customers.
Carl Dakin runs his own company that helps others run crowdfunding campaigns. He's aware of some other problems, like the Alabama woman who fraudulently raised $260,000 on GoFundMe. She claimed she had terminal cancer, but she didn't. Well, now she's serving 25 months in prison.
The vast majority are all success stories.
Dakin doesn't want to scare donors away, but he says look for companies that have had successful campaigns in the past. And we all need to realize what crowdfunding really means.
From the consumer standpoint, they're not really thinking of it as an investment. They're thinking of it simply as a delayed purchase, where they'll give them the money today and then they expect sooner or later that they'll see that product arrive in the mail.
He'd like to see some type of rating system for crowdfunders where maybe past success follows you to your next crowdfunding project.
It is one of our goals is to give consumers their money back.
Several news outlets have reported that the FTC is now looking into the backpack company, and the FTC has gone after people before.
We've been paying attention to since at least 2015 when we actually brought our first case against a crowdfunding campaign. He failed to deliver despite successfully funding over 3 times the requested amount.
John says his campaigns have been a game changer for artists who couldn't afford to kick off their own projects without donations. He's in favor of getting the bad apples booted so things don't get ruined for all the good eggs. I'm Jace Larson, The Now.
Thanks, Chase. Let's get to the Now news feed. A portable date rape drug test is now on sale. The drug test is similar to a pregnancy test. It's disposable and uses just a few drops to determine if a date rape drug has been put into a drink. It tests for Xanax and Valium, but it does not test for GHB or ketamine, which are other common date rape drugs. More people in their middle age are dying from heart disease and strokes. This is according to the CDC. The same new report shows millions of adults are not taking aspirin as recommended, they don't have their blood pressure under control, and many are smokers and not physically active. Well, Warner Brothers is introducing a policy aimed at making its movies and TV shows more diverse. This would also include HBO and their Turner Broadcasting. The company wants to include more women and people of color, as well as the LGBT community and people with disabilities. All right, back to our lineup. We have a warning about an old trick for crooks to get our money, turning into an exploding epidemic. We're talking about check fraud scams. That's next on The Now. The internet and a new generation are fueling an old trick to get people to hand over their money to crooks. The Better Business Bureau just putting out new information on check fraud scams, calling it an exploding epidemic, saying about 500,000 people fall victim every year, with people in their 20s the most likely victims. So this is how you can spot a fake check. Look for any misspellings. The check number on the top right corner should match the last number on the bottom. Is the routing number right? Well, you can actually check that on Google now. Also, look for any missing ink or if the paper is flimsy. People are getting these checks from scammers in various different ways. They might be offering to buy something you posted online, or claim you won some sort of prize, or even offer you money to wrap your car in an advertisement. And job scams are huge right now. In all of these, you also get a check to deposit it. And then they ask you to send them some money back for various reasons. But it happened to Tammy Wright's teen son when he thought he landed a part-time job as a mystery shopper. She was skeptical when he got a check for $2,000, so she even went to the bank to cash it with him.
One huge mistake that I did make was I had forgot to ask him to not withdraw any funds from that account until it cleared. And so I had no idea that a teller would have an 18-year-old $2,000 roughly, and he only had about $200 in his account.
Tammy had to pay that money back to the bank. The biggest misconception the BBB says people have about checks, they think once their money is in their account, then it's good. But not so. It can take weeks for a check to clear. So best bet is actually to ask your bank to hold the money until a check has cleared on their end. And same goes for cashier's checks and postal money orders. The crooks are counterfeiting those too. Well, we'd all love to get a raise at work, so you'll like this. We're learning employers are getting ready to hand out more raises in 2019. Tomorrow on The Now, we're checking into just how much and why a new job could mean an even bigger paycheck.
Well, coming up tonight on 23 ABC News at 11, the city of Arvin has a new city manager. We're sitting down with him and the mayor to hear more on the plans they have for the city's future. Again, that's tonight on 23 ABC News at 11. Speaking of future, we're going to talk about some future temperatures.
Yes, finally a cool down on the way. But tonight, if you don't have anything to do, head out to the concert by the fountain. Still in the 90s, but it'll be down to the 80s by the time that ends. So not too bad, a nice event. But the triple digits are back. But do you see that little breezy icon? Well, that will be continuing over the weekend into next week. Actually cooling temperatures down to possibly the low 90s, even upper 80s. Shall I say it? I mean, a week away.
We can think on it. We'll put that positive energy out for the 80s. That's going to do it for us here on The Now Bakersfield. We'll see you back here tonight at 11.